My name is Sophie, and welcome to a whimsical outdoor summer reading vlog. Yippee! That was me being whimsical. Now, if you weren't aware, the UK is currently in what feels like a never-ending heat wave, which is certainly hot. That is what it is. And one thing about me is I'm guilty of not leaving the house unless I absolutely have to, right? Which does mean that I've kind of been slow cooking inside. However, I recently decided enough. Instead of slow cooking inside, I want to slow cook outside. And what with it being the last week of July and all, I have a TBR to finish. Okay? So I figured, what better way to slow cook outside than with a book?
Yeah.
We might as well multitask. Come on now. Speaking of books, the book that I'm going to be reading in this video is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you have seen this book before. We have been reading her for a while. Okay, it's been a long-term endeavor of mine to finish this freaking book. And because of this, I have discussed the outline and the blurb of this book several times in several different videos. So rather than going back over all of that and boring you all, I decided that I would do a quick, super speedy summary in one sentence. Okay, we're giving ourselves a little bit of a challenge, right? So, here is my one sentence, super quick, super speedy summary. You ready? Freya was married to a chop man who sold her to a Jarl who made her fight his son Bjorn to the death, but boom, she's a shield maiden, so the Jarl binds her to him, because prophecies told him that if he does, he will rule the world, but now she has a crush on Bjorn, his son, who has been sworn to protect her. Boom. A little bit of a lengthy sentence, but if we're going based on vibes, it's Viking. Viking vibes, but fantasy. Romantasy Viking. Final answer. Everyone good? We all know what we're going into with this bad boy. It is the first in a series. I do believe there's a second book out now, which is very exciting. We'll have to be purchasing that at some point because I am really enjoying it so far. But for this vlog, I am starting reading it on page 296. And the book is 414 pages long, so I've still got 118 pages left, which I think we can finish over the course of this video. So, I think that that is enough introing. Let's get into our whimsical summer reading sleigh. Let's do it. Oh. Oh my god. Right. Right, left. Left, right. I am now on page 361, and this book has taken a sharp turn. Now, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to go too in depth. We're not going to dig in too deep. But when I started reading on page 296, Freya was a bad bitch. She did slay, and she was a boss queen. You know, she was making big decisions. She was doing good things with the correct intentions, mind you. And I did love her for that. However, I am now both confused and concerned. I will keep you up to date on that one, though. Bjorn is a sweetie pie. We love him. He is just looking out for our girl Freya. Very kind of you, Bjorn. Thank you. And also your flaming axe. This is meant to be a love heart.
Wow.
But I do not know what Freya is doing. Girl, you need to lock the hell in, please. Anyways, let's do some more reading in whimsical and outdoor settings. Roll the clips. Because it's currently the 30th of July, and it is also nighttime, so I won't be doing any more outdoor reading right now. So I'm going to continue the outdoor reading tomorrow, okay? Which does mean that then it will be the 31st of July, which means I have one day to finish this book. Oh! So it's not just Freya who needs to lock in, it is also me. It's me and you, Freya. Let's lock in, okay? We can do it. I believe in us. Raw.
Oh, wow!
Are you scared of me? You should be. Okay, it's the next day when I'm filming this right now, but I did finish A Fate Inked in Blood yesterday afternoon, which does mean that I can add that to my July reading wrap up. I still didn't read all of the books on my July TBR, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Let's move on, okay? I was absolutely roasting alive outside. It was really funny. I spent like 10 minutes setting my phone up outside, trying to get it to like a decent position that it could record me reading in, you know? I turned the brightness right up, like I was like right up in there trying to make sure that I could see myself and all that. And then I pressed record and it recorded me for a minute and then it overheated. So I did all of that for literally nothing, but I did eventually manage to work out a way to keep it slightly shaded so that I could successfully record my little reading montage moment. So we did get there eventually, but that was quite funny. I was like, yay, and go. And then it was like, haha, no. But anyway, I'm going to leave a more in-depth analysis of my thoughts on the book for my July reading wrap-up, because I don't want to keep repeating myself in like multiple videos. That's just boring. But I will give you my main feelings on it now, just so you know kind of what I thought of all the vibes and stuff. Yeah. So, you know how earlier I was talking about how Freya started off as a huge slay, and I loved her, and she was such a cool main character. Boss bitch, bad bitch, yes. But then I started getting a bit concerned and afraid. Well, I'm pleased to report that pretty much immediately after we had our little discussion about my concerns and my confusion and my fear, Freya reclaimed her boss bad bitch status, so I didn't have anything to worry about in terms of that. I do think that the issues that started to be brought up earlier will probably resurface in the next book in the series, but for now, I'm a happy camper. There were also a couple of really great plot twists towards the end of the book. One of them I had already predicted, but I think that that was kind of their intention. They kind of wanted you to have guessed that particular one. But then the others, I was really shocked by. One especially, I was really blown away by. I was like, what? This is crazy. So that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And it's definitely like got me wanting to read the next book in this series because I want to know what's going to happen in terms of these plot twists. Character-wise, I freaking loved Bjorn. He was such a sweetie pie. All he wanted to do was keep Freya safe, and he was also just freaking hilarious. I will say, he did kind of flop at the end though. But, you know, it's all part of the character journey, and I'm hoping that he's gonna reclaim his sweetie pie status in the next book. Fingers crossed. Come on, Bjorn. Please. Get it together, king. And it's interesting because not only did Bjorn flop at the end of the first book, but so did Freya, kind of. She was really getting on my nerves towards the end of that book. I was like, girl, just listen. For 1 second, I beg of you. Because she was really trying to implement the miscommunication trope there. Freya was determined that there would be some form of miscommunication. Thankfully, we were saved from that. Phew! But she was really pushing my buttons there towards the end. I was like, girl, please. Both of them need to get it together, to be honest. They're quite well suited because neither of them have got it together right now. And both of them need to. They need to lock in and get it together. Overall, though, I thought the book was super exciting. The plot was great. There was so much going on. I do love a fantasy book. And I really loved the balance between, like, the romance plotline and the rest of the plot. You know, I thought it was a great mix of both. The romance, as well, I would say definitely was more slow burn than I was expecting it to be. There was some great tension building. This was kind of the ideal pacing for a romance for me. I tend to become quite uninterested once the characters actually get together because I'm like, oh, okay, now what? So I didn't really have to worry about that with this, which I really appreciated. I felt we still got so much of the romance without them necessarily like doing anything, if you know what I mean. So I really liked that aspect of it. Yes. In terms of the general vibes, I really enjoyed the kind of Viking / fantasy genre moment that was going on there. I've never read anything like that before, and I was a big fan. And as I said a minute ago, there was a great setup for the second book there. We've got a lot of plot twists to unpack going into the next book. definitely think I'm gonna have to purchase that one, so watch out for that. Overall, I thought she was really good. I was eating up the romance. I'm excited to see where we go next time. A great setup for the next book. I feel like we've got loads to get into in terms of both the romance and the general rest of the plot. We've kind of been left on a cliffhanger with all of it. So, yeah. But that's basically it for the video. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully this will encourage you to get outside and do some reading, reconnect with nature. You know, you don't have to be hiking or trekking to be outside in the air, touching grass. This way you can multitask, you know? You know when they say, oh, the smut got a bit too smutty, gotta go and touch grass. You don't need to move. You can continue to read your smut because you're outside touching the grass, right? Perfect. Perfect. Sign me up. I will definitely be doing some more reading outside if this freaking heat wave continues. Somehow, also, I did not get sunburned, which I was really impressed by because I was in the full sun for that last clip, like in the sun. I wanted to sit outside with my dog, but she just wouldn't because she's weird and she just wants to sit inside by the front door. So I was trying to keep an eye on her, but also sit outside and be whimsical. So I had to sit like as close to the back door as I could possibly get so I could keep an eye on her. Honestly, generally when you let your dog outside, they actually go. What's that about? She's lucky she's cute. Anyways, that is all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you liked the vibes of this and the energy we've got going on over here, maybe consider subscribing, because then you can see if I post any more whimsical videos or not so whimsical videos. It's honestly could go either way with me. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.